Coco Gauff is taking her career in a new direction, leaving Roger Federer's Team 8 and joining up with entertainment moguls WME. And she has launched Coco Gauff Enterprises.
Coco Gauff has created her own management company, Coco Gauff Enterprises, which is the largest power move of her career. However, not everyone is pleased about it, particularly Aryna Sabalenka. Let's just suppose that when the news broke, the Belarusian celebrity didn't hold back. I have a question for you. Was Sabalenka's answer genuine annoyance, or was it just jealousy? It has finally happened. Tennis aficionados Coco Gauff has formally entered the group of athletes who have had enough of allowing other people handle their brand. She is now managing her own business after leaving Roger Federer's Team 8. It's audacious, startling, and evidently driving Aryna Sabalenka mad. Now, let's set the situation before we discuss Sabalenka's reaction. The announcement from Coco Gauff was surprising. One straightforward post with no hints or press leaks. An incredible new age has begun. I want to take more responsibility for my career as I develop as an athlete, business owner, and change agent. A 21-year-old is essentially proclaiming, "I'm the boss now."
Actually, everyone around me was like on board with it because like I know I could handle it. I think it was more just like on the mental side, like being there a lot of times, like mentally being on the site all the time can be like tiring. But, they were really encouraging because they knew it was something I wanted to do. And I was like, I mean, I'm young now, but I know eventually, I'm not going to be able to be playing doubles and singles and all of that. So I was like, I'm going to take advantage of it.
To be honest, some players find that kind of confidence offensive, particularly when it comes from someone who is not just dominating on the court, but also making her own business decisions. Let's just say that Aryna Sabalenka's answer wasn't exactly one of congratulations. When asked about Gauff's new project during practice at the Cincinnati Open, Sabalenka was allegedly clearly irritated, according to accounts from player circles. She shrugged, rolled her eyes, and murmured something like, "Good for her, I guess." These days, everyone aspires to be a CEO. Oh no. Since Gauff began making headlines both on and off the court, Sabalenka has been uneasy. And that one remark sums it up well. Do you recall the drama at the French Open, the defeat, her anger after the game, and her remark that Gauff wasn't performing very well? Yes, that didn't hold up over time. Let's fast forward a few months. Coco is developing an empire in addition to winning titles. After that defeat, Sabalenka is still attempting to persuade people that she didn't mean what she said.
I was just making unforced errors. Like, I don't know, I have to check the statistics. I think she won the match not because she played incredible, just because I made all of those mistakes from, like, if you look from the outside, kind of like from an easy ball.
It's tough not to understand why this announcement generated a commotion. Gauff's decision to create her own management firm at the age of 21 signals a significant transition in power. She now controls her future, her deals, and her brand. Most athletes don't receive that until they retire, if at all. Sabalenka, a 26-year-old player who is among the best in the world, still has contracts and image management handled by others. You can surely picture how that would feel. This is where things start to get hot. According to individuals close to Sabalenka, she has been grumbling in private that Coco is receiving too much attention for business decisions rather than tennis, which is humorous because it is just what Coco wants to rethink what it means to be an athlete.
Yeah, so the extension with me kind of started in the whole campaign with the doubters. It obviously started with my speech at US Open where I mentioned, allowing doubters to fuel me to do better. And I kind of realized that a lot of things that are told to small business owners are also things that are told to athletes and me specifically, whereas like I've heard a lot that I'm too young, or that I should just focus on tennis, or you shouldn't do multiple things at once.
For her, winning prizes isn't the only measure of accomplishment. It has to do with managing your legacy. And that's the reason Sabalenka is going nuts. Because witnessing a younger competitor become both a champion and a financial tycoon may be hard for someone whose reputation has been founded on unadulterated enthusiasm and athletic prowess. After practice, Sabalenka reportedly raged to her team, stating, "Everyone acts like Coco invented independence." According to one insider, everybody makes their own decisions. Yes, Aryna. But let's face it, getting a sponsor and founding your own agency from the bottom up are extremely different. Coco, the rules for golf were recently revised. And for that reason, this goes much beyond tennis drama. This relates to how sports culture is evolving. These days, athletes are more than simply athletes. They are significant figures with genuine effect, brands, and entrepreneurs. That evolution includes Coco's move. However, Sabalenka feels as though she is losing control of the limelight because not too long ago, Aryna was the one creating headlines, winning Grand Slams, making daring remarks, and exhibiting passion while playing. Fans were chatting about her. These days, Coco Gauff appears in every headline, and it's difficult to accept, particularly when the analogies begin to come in. Coco, who is 21 years old, has already won a Grand Slam, established a following throughout the world, and started her own business. Even though Sabalenka is older and more seasoned, it still feels like she is responding rather than taking the initiative. The media, supporters, and probably Sabalenka all take notice. A reporter casually inquired about Coco's sentiments regarding her new business effort during her most recent interview. "I'm concentrating on my own career," she stated with that tight, cordial smile that athletes offer when they're trying not to blow up. "I'm not here to create a business. My goal is to succeed." Doesn't that sound like a jab? It would be equivalent to saying, "Good luck running your business while I collect trophies." In actuality, though, they are both succeeding in different ways. Coco is taking a long-term approach. She is aware that clutching a racket won't last forever. She is consequently building something now rather than waiting until retirement. She is intelligent because of this. Sabalenka is in fighting mode in the meantime. She wants the respect, attention, and authority she believes she has earned. To be fair, she has made a lot of money. However, the difficulty is that Coco Gauff's narrative is currently more compelling. She is relatable, young, articulate, and adept in business. Essentially everything that attracts sponsors. And that's what's causing Aryna to become angry. Some players feel dwarfed by the Coco Gauff impact. According to WTA sources, she is said to be everywhere. Advertisements, interviews, social causes, and now business meetings. The rest of them, however, are still stuck answering to the same old concerns concerning training schedules and rankings. Therefore, it's easy to trust Sabalenka when she says she's weary of hearing Coco's name. This is where it becomes ironic, though. Coco's shadow gets bigger the more Sabalenka whines. Every caustic remark becomes a new headline. Sabalenka makes fun of Gauff. Sabalenka is annoyed by Coco's prominence. Sabalenka responds to Coco's business action. She is actually pushing the story that she despises. That's what makes it so beautiful. Coco doesn't even need to answer. Sabalenka can't compete with her, so she merely grins, gives a motivating comment, and resumes growing her imperial command. Coco is in charge of the narrative. Sabalenka simply responds to it, and that's what sets icons apart in today's sports. This is where it gets humorous. Aryna Sabalenka was never ever brought up by Coco Gauff. Never once, not in subtle shadow, not in postings, not in interviews, nothing. Nevertheless, Sabalenka is behaving as though she has just been attacked personally. It seems as though Coco's silence talks louder than words, and it's evident that Aryna is more bothered by that quiet than anything else. Coco's actions speak louder than words. She is ahead without needing to express it. She simply demonstrates it. To be fair, some admirers believe that Sabalina's annoyance goes beyond ordinary envy. They think it's pressure. She has been attempting to present herself as one of the big figures in the WTA, fierce, passionate, and powerful. However, the emphasis has now completely changed. People only debate how she responds to Coco Gauff rather than her strong serves, and that wears you out. Imagine dedicating your whole professional life to earning acclaim for your skills, only to have every press conference devolve into a Coco question. The attitude is nearly understandable. Nearly. Here's the issue, though. Sabalenka continues to compound her situation. Every snarky remark, every moment of apathy. She appears more insecure as a result. Coco is out here signing contracts and stacking victories in the meanwhile. Instead of working louder, she is working more intelligently. Do you know whether anyone else saw that? The sponsors. Because corporations appreciate people who are self-confident, collected, and competent. Coco Aryna is that. She is the complete opposite. Erratic, intense, and prone to uttering regretful things. For headlines, that's terrific, but not in boardrooms. Thus, Gauff launched her agency, a business that truly manages brand relationships. You can only imagine what the rest of the tour thought about it. It acts as a reminder of who is in authority in addition to being a sign of achievement. According to accounts, Gauff received individual congrats from players like Eugene, who emphasized how motivating it was to see her establish leadership at such a young age. Guess who didn't? Yes, Sabalenka. Not a single word of encouragement from the public. And for tennis fans, that stillness told it all. Because although these participants may smile for the cameras, there is a cold battle of perception and public relations going on behind the scenes. Every action is about the image. Each post is computed. Every quotation has the capacity to influence the top person's reputation as well as their ranking. Additionally, Coco Gauff has an impeccable reputation at the time. Remember that at the age of 15, this player became the youngest qualifier rather than allowing it to rule her. Sabalenka is driven nuts by the rarity of that Coco's authority, because Coco lives in calm whilst Aryna thrives in chaos. Although Sabalenka's emotions motivate her, they also show her flaws. When something goes wrong, she blows up. She computes Coco. She is now applying the same approach off the court. Consider this. Coco is really holding meetings about her business, while Sabalenka is striving to prove herself to reporters. It's not a competition. That is domination in a whole new context. If Coco Gauff is able to establish her own agency, what prevents other athletes from doing the same? You can guarantee the WTA took notice. When you can employ your own staff and have complete control over your finances, why rely on corporate management? That is what Coco is constructing for the future. And Sabalenka and others are terrified of that because power is at risk here, not simply tennis. It's in golf. Sabalenka desires it. However, their method to pursuing it is entirely different. Sabalenka has a strong stroke both on and off the court. She is impulsive, passionate, and full of fire. Coco is meticulous, patient, and well-prepared. One grows slowly while the other burns quickly. And ultimately, that's what separates transient celebrity from enduring legacy. Coco's perspective goes beyond accolades. She is considering ownership, business, influence, and the kind of power that superstars like Serena and LeBron utilize to construct their empires. She doesn't want to become a mogul by waiting for her profession to expire. While she is still winning, she is beginning. Because of this, this technique was particularly effective in women's tennis. Because someone is genuinely violating the usual norm for the first time in years, supporters are referring to it as a power shift. Perfection and safety were the cornerstones of Federer's Team 8. Perfect PR, safe decisions, and a polished press. Coco is an authentic, straightforward, and brave role model. Now that she has her own brand, she is not seeking approval. Sabalenka is free to continue making fun of it at this point. But since Coco is playing chess while everyone else is still fighting over checkers, she feels in her heart that it's a clever move. The best part is that Coco doesn't even have to clap back. The clapback is what makes her successful. She doesn't have to prevail in the dispute. The room is already hers. Coco Gauff has become a symbol of the transformation taking place in the tennis world. Greetings to her. Do you believe that Aryna Sabalenka's response was prompted by jealousy over Coco's next-level business move, or was it just natural frustration? Please share your comments with me below. In order to ensure that you don't miss the next breakdown, kindly hit the like, subscribe, and turn on buttons. Do of this competition. It's only getting. Thanks, dear viewers. Love you all.